Good evening, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well today. And welcome back to another broadcasting of Let's Talk About It. Let's Talk About It. I am your host, Helen Artis-Armstrong. And today's topic, we're going to be talking about body shaming. Body shaming. This is a platform where we talk about our journey to better mental health. And in this season that we're in right now, this is what we're calling the kids edition. So we're going to be talking about these challenges as far as it pertains to our children. So let's talk about it. Body shaming. So you might say, well, exactly what is body shaming? I've heard of it, but I'm not quite familiar with what all that means. Well, by definition, it is the action or the practice of mocking or stigmatizing someone by making critical comments about the shape, size, or appearance of their body. Let me read that again. Body shaming is the act or the practice of mocking or stigmatizing someone by making critical comments about the shape, size, or appearance of their body. And it's something serious that I've seen that goes on with the way a lot of adults speak to children. And it's disturbing. It's really, really disturbing. How people can talk to children that may be even 5 and 6 years old, young children that are age of understanding, preteens, adolescents, about the way they look in a negative way, body shaming, calling them fat. Look at you ugly self. Call them ugly. Look at your big old feet. God, how do you walk around with no big old things? And the problem is that many times these adults that are saying these things in ignorance, of course, they'll laugh about it and think it's funny. Call it a joke. Ha 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 ha. You know I'm just playing. I'm just kidding you. Well, the child didn't take it that way. The child is pondering what you said, what was said to them. They're thinking about, oh my gosh, my feet really are big. I'm, you know, uh, I'm a shameful person because my feet are big and people are going to laugh at me. People are laughing at me. Their feet probably are the average size or just slightly bigger for their age group. Um, they'll think to them in their mind, they'll begin to say things like, people are laughing at me and the people are making fun of me and everybody's watching me. And that may not be the case, but because of what that person is saying to them, they'll begin to mentally think on it that way. And it could be harmful and hurtful to that child. Mental distresses. Look at you, you fat self, things like that. Or, it may not even be that the adult is saying it to them in that context. They might be saying things, even parents, sad to say, in the home, like, I don't think you should have a second piece of chicken. You're already overweight. And look at you. You can't even fit your clothes anymore. You're looking right sloppy today. They'll say these negative things to them. If the child is overweight, then go work out with them. Make them some healthier options. Say, well, let's do this together, especially if it's your child. Body shaming can do so much damage. So much damage. Look at your big head. Look at you. That big head that you got on your shoulders. Don't make no sense for somebody to look like that. Maybe talking about the complexion of their skin, especially with us brown people. I'm a little dark, but there's some that's a whole lot darker than I am. making fun of their complexion, the way they look, the way they sound. Look at you talking like a girl. Could be a boy. Well, guess what? Little boys, young boys, they kind of sound like little girls when they young. Body shaming. Body shaming. It's not okay. It causes low self-esteem. It could cause anxiety in that child, where they become anxious about the way they look. And now they're in the mirror looking at themselves like, you know what? My head really is big, and people are laughing at me. Nobody's probably laughing at that child besides that person that's saying those negative things to them. And guess what? If that's you saying those things to that child like that, you're a bully and you need to stop. It can cause anxiety. It can cause depression. Kids will start to pull away, isolate themselves. You know what? I am ugly. Nobody wants to look at me. Nobody wants to be my friend. you know, Teenagers, body shaming them. And now it's 100 degrees outside and they're wearing coats and hoodies and sweaters, trying to cover up their body, trying to not allow anybody to see what they really look like. And they could be just one of the most beautiful teenagers ever. But because they've heard this and you've mentally beat them down and repetitiously said these negative things to them, this is what they're thinking now. It could cause anger outburst. One child could just flip the script, become an angry person and saying negative things and mean things to other people and just being angry all the time because of all these things, this body shaming that's been spoken to them. Look at your hair. Yeah. Oh, and there's a person that I know. She's about 14, 15 now. And there was a family member that said to her, look at your hair. So you don't have that good hair like the rest of your family do. You know, look at your hair. You can't wear your hair like they do. 'Cause you might as well give it up. You need to do something with that mess. Body shaming, giving that person negative images about themselves. It's not okay. And it happens to male and female. There's no discrimination here, okay, when it comes to the children. I've heard it said on both sides so many times before. And I've seen the effects that it takes on these children when they begin to ponder what's been said to them. You know, Even in extreme cases, it can cause suicidal thoughts when the child starts feeling like, you know what, nobody's gonna love me looking like this. Nobody's gonna love me because I'm big, I'm overweight. Nobody's gonna love me because look at me, I'm so skinny, I'm so thin. Because these are the things that they've heard. These negative comments about their body, their body image. They could have a negative body image behind it, thinking that, and one of the hard things, the worst things about it is that these children become adults with these issues. Okay? They become adults with these issues, looking down on themselves and thinking negative things, negative thoughts on themselves, suicidal ideations. I don't want to be a part of this world anymore. I'm not worth it. It's real. Body shaming, shaming in any aspect to a child is not okay. It is not okay. And we as adults, we should be ashamed of ourselves. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's body is perfect. We're all shaped differently. We're all shaped uniquely. And that's okay. And that's the way it's supposed to be. If we all looked alike and we all had the same little perfect, or what they used to call the Coca-Cola bottle shape or whatever with women and, the all male physique with all the muscles and all that, if everybody looked alike, it'd be a boring world. It would be a boring world. It would. So we all supposed to be different. We were not meant to be copies of each other than the fact that we are human beings and that we are in this human race. Okay? Their minds are so fragile. Adults say a lot of things that are, heavy on the mind of that child. And that child is processing it way different than what the adults think they are. Way different. Way different. It could look like a joke coming from The person said, "Oh, they know I'm playing. I'm just playing with them." They don't take it that way. It's far more serious than that to that person. So just know, just stop them out today. Just talk about that body shaming. It's not okay. Check yourself, adult. Speaking to the child that way. I can't stress it enough that I see these children come in into therapy all the time, and they have these things weighing on their minds. And, and sometimes it takes a while before you can get a child to open up and tell you what's really on their heart. But when they do, many times it goes back to the adults in their life that have damaged them by the words that they say, by the things that they say to them and the way that they treat them. So, again, we got the power to make a change. Don't speak to your children that way. Don't speak to the neighborhood kids that way. Okay? You start saying it over and over again, you ugly, you ugly, you ugly, you ugly. Guess what? That child's going to start to feel like, I'm ugly. You not here, you not here, you not here. And okay, there are some resilient kids out there that'll bounce back and take that negativity to another level of positivity and grow from it. But the majority of them, a whole large lump sum of them, are going to take it in a negative way. And their hurt might look like them pulling back and not talking to people like they were, isolating themselves in rooms. That hurt or that damage might look like them starting to slip in school, starting to compile clothes on their body to hide their body, starting to not want to go out of the house because of the damage, the mental damage that has been done and is yet being done in them. So what are some things you can do to help? Stop it. Stop it. Learn how to speak to a child to uplift them, to encourage them, to build them up, not tear them down. Not tear them down. The children are our future. And it is in our hands to build them up. And so there's a scripture in the Bible that says that we are wonderfully and fearfully made in the image of God. Okay? And everything that He made is good. And I believe it's very good. Let the good blossom in our children, our youth of today. Let the good come up in them and flow through them and out of them. Help to build them up. Don't tear down a child. If it's a negative comment you got, keep it to yourself. I've said it many times that all truth don't need to be spoken. So what, they got a big head? Do they got to hear you continually say that to them? So what, they hear not? If it's your child, comb it. Help them with that. And if it's not your child, shut up anyway, because you don't have any business speaking these negative things over somebody else's child. I think it was Steve Harvey that gave his little testimony one time in an interview where he said that there was a teacher that told him all the time that he was stupid. He would never amount to nothing in life. You're never going to get it together. Saying all these negative things and speaking it of his life. He was one in very few that took that negativity and was able to overcome and be somebody and do something with himself. Those big lips of his or speaking jokes and making money. You can call him all the big lip you want to now because he's an adult and he can process it and he can move forward and understand it. But as a child, he talked about how that damaged him. That damaged him. But the resilience in him helped him to bounce back. Every child won't have that story. But it's up to you and I to encourage and uplift them, to build them up. Build them up. Don't tear them down. And so thank you again for joining me. I was broadcast on body shaming, our journey to better mental health for our children as well as ourselves. And so just be encouraged on this week that the power's in your hand to build a better future for the children that you come in contact with, whether they're yours, the neighborhood kids, children in your classroom. Do better. Be a better person. Be that model. Be that example of positivity and not negativity, okay? All right. As always, you can reach us and you can respond to us by email. Our email is kboministries@yahoo.com. That stands for Kingdom Builders Outreach Ministry. That's the platform that we're coming from. Kingdom Builders Outreach Ministries. KBO Ministries at yahoo.com. We always look forward to hearing from you. And until the next time, just have a good week. We'll talk to you again later. Okay? Bye-bye.